Alright Reddit, what is your spookiest or most unexplainable event that has ever happened to you? Serious. When I was 7, my family made a quick road trip to visit my grandma who was in hospice. We got back home late at night and my sister and I saw our grandma sitting in the rocking chair in our room. The rocking chair that had belonged to her husband. Our mom walked in and told us that grandma had died and we were gonna drive back in the morning. My sister and I didn't mention it for years, but we both are absolutely certain grandma stopped by to say goodbye. What's your most gatekeeping culinary opinion? I'm of the opinion that you can do whatever the fuck you want with food, but if you fundamentally change a dish, you have to change its name. It's all about expectations. If I go into a restaurant and order a carbonara, then when it arrives they say, oh, we make it with pepperoni snack sausages and cream cheese. Then it's no longer a fucking S, not necessarily gatekeeping, but things are called things for a reason. Imagine the chaos if we just abandon on people. It's not real gatekeeping unless it comes from the Gate region of France. Stop calling mayo with anything mixed into aioli. What's your go-to hangover cure? A true level 3 hangover requires nothing but sleeping the day away until you kick the headache. Nausea. People who say to exercise or sweat it out are assholes who aren't really hungover. I don't wanna hear it. 1 liter of water before falling asleep and some onion rings. Drink a bottle of Pedialyte. Works every time. Greasy food. McDonald's bacon eggs CHC McGriddle. Missed call from dad. Red Bull, taking a massive dump and a 3-hour-long shower. Hair of the dog. Shit, shower, shave. Liquid IV. If it's bad, a bowl of pho will fix even the worst hangover. Dramamine. Shower, ginger ale, water grin. What's the worst way you found out someone died? Not me, but I worked at a hospital where a patient died but no one notified the family. So the family came to visit them in the morning and the first thing the nurse says is, "Are you here to collect the deceased's belongings?" My friend sent me a suicidal text when I was sleeping. When I woke up early the next morning he was gone. FB message from my brother, "Mom died and he went offline." I had to call him several times to talk to him. In room full of people on mushrooms watching Contact, the Jodie Foster movie. 3 girls stormed full on hysterical into our apartment and told us our friend was killed in action in Iraq. His truck hit a IED. Who is the most overrated person on the planet? Oprah fucking Winfrey. The Kardashians. Useless trash. Kardashians, what do they even do? Haha. Kanye. Any of the Kardashians. Do you know them while they don't necessarily know you? Then they're probably overrated to an extent. Elon Musk. Beyonce. Charli D'Amelio. Harry Styles gets an easy break on the X Factor. Goes on to copy Prince and David Bowie. And is somehow regarded as the most important music artist of this generation for copying what was done before by much more talented people. Ryan Seacrest. Bono. Getting in early. Donald Trump. Elon Musk. Socialite celebrities. Americans, are you voting in the November 8th election? Why or why not? I've already voted. Yes, gotta ensure those fuckers don't get another chance to ruin the country ever again. Yes, so I can complain. Yes, I do want to ensure that women's rights are protected. Since I had my tubes removed, this doesn't immediately affect me anymore. But I want to guarantee that women can get medical treatment. Since Roe was overturned, doctors are refusing to assist women who are dying from ectopic pregnancies. If nothing is done, it will only become worse. I vote every election. Americans of Reddit, what is the most hated state and why? Not a fan of plasma. It doesn't behave as politely as solids. Liquids are gases and is hard to handle. You know most of us are asleep, right? Ohio, BC, it's fucking Ohio. Thought Alabama would feature high in this vote. Probably California, Florida, or Texas. Though Mississippi is the actual worst state. Not American, but we have a city in Bulgaria named Montana and a whole region, so I would say Ohio is the most hated state. Seems to be Ohio, but I have no idea why. Could be a meme thing for all I know. I've been to Ohio maybe half a dozen times and it's not that bad.
Atheists, did you never believe in God, or what made you switch sides? Catholic school. No, never switched sides. My dad taught me to always question authority. Religion failed the test early on. When I was a kid, I guess I believed. Was told it was true, and had to go to church all the time. But, I was always suspicious. I'd ask questions and would get bad answers. X200B me, where'd the Bible come from? Them God talked to some men thousands of years ago and they wrote it down. But he doesn't talk to anyone anymore. Me, so, we just have to take their word for it. What if they made it up? Them they didn't. I was raised religious, but I never believed in any of it. I always thought it was silly when I was little and all the adults were just pretending, although I could never figure out why.
Before social media was around, how did you like to waste your time on the internet? Stealing music off LimeWire. AOL Instant Messenger was the social aspect of the internet when I was young. Anyone not admitting to their Club Penguin addiction is kidding themselves. I remember times before the internet, kids. On MSN chatting. Neopets. Sporkle, eBaum's World, and Something Awful. I was very addicted to IMDb. I would often search up the latest movies and shows on that website, and would research what actors played certain characters. This is the reason why everyone in my family now comes to me and asks me who played who, what movies and shows are good, and are looking for something new to watch. Dear Redditors, what is a common belief that just simply isn't true? That those 5 minutes after the alarm goes off are actually going to be 5 minutes. That getting a raise and going to a new tax bracket will cost you money. People don't understand that income rates only apply once that level of income is attained. You shouldn't move baby birds back into their nests if they've fallen or otherwise wandered away, because the mother will smell that they've been touched and reject them. Why do people think this? My parents told me this when I was really small, and even for a while as an adult I believed it. Then, one day I'm reading this article about common animal myths and bam. If you shave your beard it will grow faster. Do you agree with the sentiment money cannot buy happiness? Why or why not? Money may not buy happiness, but poverty sure as hell gives you misery for free. Of course it can't, as happiness is not a commodity being sold. Money can, however, alleviate sources of stress, thereby making happiness more easily attainable. Money can buy everything that would make me happy. Anyone who's had no money knows it can solve so many issues that make you unhappy. Money better quality of life. I appreciate the sentiment, but I don't agree with it. That's a BS statement. Money can buy away your debts and give you such a relief, and you can afford to pursue your interest. Having no money cancels out avenues to happiness. Do you believe in right person, wrong time? And why? I guess it depends on how many right people there can be. Just one? Absolutely not. If right means anyone who you are mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually compatible with, then absolutely. Certain people are right for you at different times in your life. It's more like right person. Right now, people change and grow, especially when we are young. I've had relationships that were long and meaningful in the past that worked at that time. I can say with certainty, though, that none of them were who I would want to be with today. They were perfect for then, but we changed and became less compatible. Food servers of Reddit, do you appreciate when we stack our plates at the end of the meal for you? Or does that actually make things more difficult? Stacking is helpful, but for the love of God, don't shove your garbage into the glasses and bowls. Someone has to fish that out. If you want to be helpful, leave your dirty napkins and trash in a pile on the table. Used to bus tables. Yes, it's definitely appreciated, but you occasionally got the nice surprise of someone squishing Food in between plates and then it's squirting out when you pick them up. Former homophobes of Reddit, what made you realize gay people aren't a problem? Became a gay. I made a very good friend at my job. I cared for her a lot. One of the best people I ever met. I didn't know she was gay until about 2 months in. At that point I realized that she was just like me. And what she did behind closed doors with her didn't matter to me at all. She was and still is a wonderful human being. Guys or girls of Reddit, what's a red flag in someone you look at and say nope? There's a saying my mom used to say. I DK where she got it from, but it's if a guy isn't nice to anyone but you. He isn't nice, which means that like, if he's rude to waitstaff, or in general a douche to anyone else, he's still a douche. They are a die-hard fan of Steven Seagal. The type of douche that insults people that says it's only a joke. Yikes. Treating waitstaff and retail clerks disrespectfully. Being lazy or not carrying your own weight or being helpful is a red flag. After a certain point it becomes disrespectful. Wants you to drastically change or give up your hobbies. How do you usually respond to a homeless person asking you for money? If you're from a city, you just block them out. I'm from Vancouver. If I acknowledged every homeless person, I would never get to where I need to go. I smile sheepishly while shaking my head and walking past. I used to just say, sorry, I don't have cash on me. It worked, but they have evolved. The other day a guy approached me at a gas station and asked me for money. I told him I didn't have cash. He said, no worries bro, and then pulled out a phone with a credit card reader attachment. So now I just say, nah, I'm poor. They seem to respect that. How have your political views changed as you've aged? I care a lot more about local races than I used to. I understand the more direct impact it has on my day-to-day life. A lot of things have changed for sure. But I used to think that a US president would always deserve some respect. I no longer think that. If the USA added a 51st state, what would it be? Puerto Rico, but I really don't see it happening. Realistically, either DC or Puerto Rico. They've both been vying for statehood for years. I'll say it because everyone else said DC or PR. But Guam. It is an extremely strategic location. It has one of, if not the highest rate of military enlistment. They are US citizens, same as PR. And they don't have the same debt issues as PR. Puerto Rico. Probably Puerto Rico. U.S. Virgin Islands region letter V region letter I. Ohio 2. If you could introduce one new law, effective tomorrow, what would you pick? Corruption is, wait. Insurance companies are not allowed to deny any medication your doctor recommends. Ban all elected officials from not only trading on the market but owning stakes in large corporations. Don't want to give up your stake? Good for you. Don't run for office. All bills in the House and Senate need to be single issue and voted on individually. This would vastly reduce waste, corruption, and actually put politicians on record for their actual stances on things. No more excuses come election time. If you could remove one thing from the world, what would it be? Corruption, bedbugs, cancer, child predators, all of them, depression, kidnappers. Edit this is because I got almost kidnapped once. Those Pete Davidson Taco Bell ads on Reddit. Sex trafficking, anxiety, greed, mosquitoes, spam calls, mental health issues, my hemorrhoid, barriers that stop me from being able to use magic, problems. The U2 album gifted by Apple that keeps coming back a decade later. About 3/4 of the airborne carbon and all the microplastics. Poverty, it would solve an insane amount of other problems as well. Animal cruelty. If you could write anything on the moon, what would you write? Moon. CHA. I'd write we see you. That would make everyone paranoid as FCK. 8D. 100 real cheese. Does a dick butt count? Craft. I see a bad moon arising. Sun. Simple, a random date a decade or so in the future. Nothing will happen, of course. Troll the world. Don't panic, in large friendly letters. Made in China. Boobs. For sale. If you can read this, you don't need glasses. Cha. The middle school's relieved face. 42. Kilroy was here. Hello, I am the moon. I have gained sentience. Stop following me. If you were given 5 minutes in a supermarket to take what you could and it'd be paid for, what would you take? The deed to the building. All the scratch tickets and electronics. The big ass hams, you always go for the big ass hams, yes. It's a supermarket sweep reference for anyone who is old enough to remember that. I'm a pray they have bottles of 25 yo and above scotch. I'd use that 5 minutes deciding what to get, never actually getting anything. All the money. If they have it in stock, all the saffron that they have. I would fill up my trolley with cheese. Glorious, then get a stroke due to high cholesterol. Let's say plastic surgery is free, what would you get done? Double chin gone. Forehead lowering surgery so large and shiny you could reflect a death ray off of it. Does surgical tattoo removal count? Triple penis. I'm fat and plan on not being fat, so probably removing the excess skin when that's done. Nothing. The price is not why I don't get it. Nothing. I'm fucking gorgeous. I'd undo my nose job. My crow's feet. Years of working construction and smoking have taken their toll. I have the skin of a man 20 years older with the features of a man 15 years younger, so I think I look a bit weird. Straighten my nose. Male Redditors, would you date a single mom? Why or why not? I dated a woman with kids once and swore to never do it again. I stayed with her longer than I should have because I loved the kids even long after I knew it wasn't working with the mother. Breaking up with the kids was harder than breaking up with her. As a single dad, I almost exclusively date single moms. Anytime I've dated someone with no kids, they end up getting really defensive anytime I put my son first, and it's really frustrating. Single moms just understand me better.